The cool part about it is the company that installs it gets the feedback, right? So customer, so the customer can do something about it.
Yeah.
But the company can be like, hey, you have an issue going on. We should come and take a look at it because you're losing X amount of dollars or losing X amount of whatever. What do teachers and plumbers have in common?
I don't know.
They both deal with little craps all day.
Yeah. Joke of the day.
Joke of the day. Just want to start it off that way. Smart plumbing.
Let's dive into it. Smart plumbing.
I think this is a cool topic. It's kind of like we were talking about the Apple Pro Vision Pros.
Yeah.
But here in Utah, which a lot of people don't use, they have those mow-in, I think they're called mow and flow.
Yeah, mow and flow.
And so you could catch a leak beforehand.
Yeah, it lets you know. It keeps up with your like gallons you're using, and when you're not using it, if like water's at a standstill, and then it just keeps running and doesn't stop, but it's small, it'll just shut it off. But it's all Wi-Fi connected, so everything's like to your phone, which is pretty dope. Because that's, I mean, we've talked about it before, like where plumbing is going, right? Mm-hmm. Where the trades are going, innovation, and that's one of them. Where you have a lot of smart systems out there that set you up for that way. There's a lot of like same thing with like you talk about leak detection, right? So mow and flow gets to see if there's a leak that goes by, but there's also like leak detection you can put on your floor. Like if you have a sewer ejector pump, you can have like these little pods or whatever. They go on the floor, and the same thing. If they like detect water, they'll just shut your water main off.
Oh, the smart sensors.
Yeah, they're pretty sensors.
Dope. Well, I think AI is getting mixed into it. Well, just backtracking, what I think is cool is you guys always tell people when they go on vacation to turn their water off, right? Yeah, just to protect their homes. Now you don't have to. You just look at your phone and
shut it.
Oh, it's off.
Yeah, no, it's good to have, because a lot of people like surprisingly don't realize you should shut your water off. They're just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't ever shut my water off. You know?
I don't either. I didn't know that until you guys started talking about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, bro.
Send it. Come home to surprise.
Yeah, no, I'm big on like protect your investment. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're leaving for a vacation for a week or even like 2 days, like, dude, shut your water off. Because there's a lot of times I walk into homes and they're completely just flooded. They're like, I was on vacation, I came home, and now I got 5 inches of standing water. I don't know what to do. I'm like, well, shut your water off.
Shut it off though? Like it will shut it off on its own? You can set it that way?
The mow and flow?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of it. It just has detection in there for when you're not supposed to be like using water. If it's just consistent, it'll just shut itself off and then send you a notification to your phone.
I wish they had that for drains. When I was in high school, I threw a party at my parents' house.
Yeah. Ooh.
And
dangerous.
Being 17, you think everything's going to be fine, but they're like, hey, don't use the toilets. Like, go stay at a friend's house, right? And well, my friend lived like 4 houses around the corner, and with my parents being gone all weekend, I'm like, this is the perfect opportunity to have everybody over. And this thing it was massive. There was some like 500 people there.
Project X.
Oh, definitely Project X. But the whole drains backed up into the house. We had like that much water standing on the floor.
That's gross.
Oh, dude, it was so bad. It was in between when my parents were building a house. We were renting this place. And so it came down to the insurance almost not covering it because it was negligent. Yeah. But they were able to, be like, dumbass kid, He didn't know any better.
So your parents found out?
Oh, dude.
You weren't
my parents are in law
sweeping it all up.
So the cops that came, like one of them grabbed me by the ear and took me upstairs and what the hell are you doing?
I'm going to call your dad.
Dad was already called before that happened.
Oh, damn.
But I remember I had to go apologize to the homeowners, and I sat there and I got yelled at for a solid 30 minutes. So anyways, I wish they would have had like a shut off for drains.
Yeah, something.
It was bad. It was a main line. Just the whole house was poopy water. So
that's disgusting.
500 people stomping through the house in poop water.
I hate this job. That is so gross. Those are the ones I walk into and I'm like, yeah, bro, you're going to have to call someone to come clean this up. And then I'll be back. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Like, dude, there's times where you just got to do that. Like, if it's Did we talk about the double decker? Someone did a double decker on Dan.
No. I mean, we've talked about it.
Oh,
but
dude. And I think he's actually like in this block of homes that we record out of. Like he's just down the block. But he,
like you open the tank and there's just a poop in the tank.
Oh yeah. Well, he said it was like the whole toilet was filled, and then he was like, oh, "Okay, I'll clean it." And he like cleared the line and he like flushed it, and like all brown shit came out. He's like, "What the fuck?" And it was like he pulled the lid off, and he's like double decker. It's all in there too, because they ran out of space to like.
So they just use the upstairs?
Yeah, no, they just use the tank of it. Yeah, man. I'm like, that's disgusting.
I don't even know how that would work. I don't know how you.
Yeah, you know think about it.
It doesn't fit.
Yeah, it's just like a seat, you know. It's just a higher seat, you know. Put your feet on the main lid and you just sit up there. I guess I don't know.
Me not trying it later.
I'd fight someone. I know, David. I'm backed up, bro. I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I yeah. Some people's kids. That's what I have to say.
That was like a big party trick back in the day. If you didn't like the person, their house, you just go and
double decker their toilet.
They'd be sitting there for weeks like, why does it smell so bad? No one opens the top of those things.
Yeah, but if you flush it, anyways, yeah.
You get the picture.
Yeah, sadly I do.
Back to smart tech.
Oh.
Hey, you know what I was reading about is that AI is starting to creep in to where it will regulate your flow. I mean, obviously, like there's AI used with the moan flow because it senses it and it turns it off on its own. But AI is starting to creep in everywhere into the plumbing scene, whether it's your faucets or your showers, or like people can set it to where it's like, I don't want my kids running water during the day. And they can set their schedule and let AI control their schedule. But the government is also talking about putting restrictors back on water. So you can only use water certain times of the day. I mean, it's not a problem we've seen here, but I know California's bringing it back. New York's bringing it back.
You can only shower at 12:30
certain times
p.m.
And they're going to use AI to detect it. And if you've used over your allotted amount, then cut you off.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah. Imagine being a kid playing outside and you just couldn't get water out of the hose.
Just dying.
Oh, man. It's outside of my time frame.
Dude, that's insane. Well, like for showers too?
Everything.
Nah, that's wild.
Everything.
That's wild.
Your whole house. I think it's going to be at the meter. They've done it before. It happened like 2016 to 2020. They put restrictors on everything.
That's crazy.
But I think in the past it was more like, hey, don't use your water at this time or you're going to get billed. Now they're starting to build that smart tech into it.
Yep. It's going to be like our electric cars. They're just going to be like, nah, I don't want you driving no more. You're going the wrong.
Imagine that. I mean, it's crazy. Like, nope, can't have water today. Or no, you got to wait till 6-8 to shower.
No, that's crazy.
Or shower together.
Yeah. Say consume water. Shower together. Mm-hmm. That's nuts. I couldn't imagine that's where we get. But hey, I guess it is what it is. Not much you could do. But man, I was gonna say something and I totally spaced it. But
I saw it in your face. It went away.
Yeah, it just blank. I had something pop in I was gonna talk about, but anyways.
No, but the AI thing, I think it's like anything else. It can be used for good and bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we use AI all the time. Like ChatGPT is our best friend in the business.
Yeah, it really is. I think like it just helps you make it. We're plumbers, you know. We're probably not the
go to school for English.
What did you say? We're crayon eaters.
Crayon eaters.
Yeah, we're not the brightest some days, so we like.
I like this color.
Yeah. Oh man, we use it a lot for like, you know, writing out invoices and stuff in our team. It's like it makes it look more professional, and then you could just take things that don't make sense out, like this doesn't look good for what we do, you know, so you just like adjust some of the words, but then it looks nice and they don't think a crayon eater's writing up their invoices. So I'm all for ChatGPT. I love it. It helps out a lot.
I think AI is cool. I think it's going to take a cool place. It might replace us, but
yeah, that's all right.
To be determined.
We'll see. To be continued. But yeah, no, it's I think it's good for the trades. Slowly you're getting into like you got smart water heaters now where you could like program like the time it heats up, you know. So it's like where like you got some water heaters that you're just your basics, like they're heating all day. You got some water heaters where it's like you could heat it at certain parts of the day. Like, hey, I want it for the first three hours or the last 3 hours of the day just to heat up. So you're not constantly like just heating water. Or you could set it to like a, I just want it at a low, like, during this time, keep it at like 80 degrees, and then this time keep it at so forth,
It's like the smart thermostats for your ACs. So can you talk about, because I know the biggest point of this, and a lot of people bring this up when we go into homes, is efficiency. I want it to be efficient. But I think there's a common misconception with efficiency, right? Like, especially on tankless. People switch to tankless, but efficiency doesn't mean the same thing they're thinking. Same thing with ACs.
It's like it's going to save me a lot of money.
Right, but it
doesn't.
It's not necessarily the case.
Yeah. So like with your water heaters, how do they explain it? It's like, if say it's like $1 worth of fuel, right? 60% of that dollar is going to be burned and used to actually heat the water, while the rest of the percentage is just going to go out to the atmosphere and not be used, right? So it's like, it's 60% efficient, quote unquote. Where like a tankless water heater, you're going to get more of that like high 90s, where it's like majority of it is going to be heated. And that's why like you have PVC exhaust vent, because it's not, a lot of it's getting heated and not just escaping into the atmosphere. So it is more efficient in the way that the fuel that it is using, it's actually burning. And it's
not being wasted.
And it's not being wasted. Will it use more? Yeah, give or take. It all depends. You know what I mean? It's like I tell people, you're not going to see a savings like overnight. It's just not how that works, But like throughout its lifespan, you may see a little bit saved here or there. But again, I mean, if you're just, now that you have the ability to take a bunch of baths, like, are you taking more baths than you've ever taken? You're going to use more fuel, So like it's
and
efficient. Yeah, it's efficient in the way of like you're actually getting your buck paid for, really, at the end of the day, right? So it's like the money you're spending for the fuel is actually being used and not just released. So they're efficient in that sense, but like energy efficient,
probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't say much so, but they are. At least the money you're spending to heat it is actually being used.
Well, I guess that's a win. I just find it so interesting because people think they're going to save a whole bunch of money, and it's not the case. Like AC, HVAC, right? Same thing. Get an efficient system. People think, oh, I'm going to save X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
But you're saying it's more the power being used for it is being used more to it and not being wasted.
Yeah.
I think the only place I've seen like an actual cost savings in HVAC is with the swamp coolers. Like there's an actual dollar savings, but you're giving up cold air, right? Like places like Cedar, it works great. Like we just installed that system. We installed a huge swamp cooler system throughout a whole house.
Yeah.
And it will cut their bill by like 3/4 of what they had with the AC system. But you're living with a swamp cooler versus
an actual.
Right. So you have your give and takes. I mean, Cedar's a bit different because it doesn't get as hot up there.
Yeah. St. George, it's like pointless almost.
Roasted. Oh, yeah.
I had one in Veo.
Well, we have one in our shop, and don't worry.
Yeah, no, yeah,
it's on.
It's on just because it's on, not it being efficient at all.
I think it's a mental thing.
Yeah, you're like, it's gonna cool down. I could feel it. It's just miserable hot in there. But yeah, swamp coolers, I don't feel like work in St. George. It's for whatever reason, it's too hot. But like I was saying, I had one in Veo. Even in Veo, it's like 20, like 15 degrees cooler. But it worked there for like most of the morning, and then the afternoon would hit, and it just like
kills.
Just be done. So
I just hate how wet it makes the air.
Yeah,
feels like you're living by the beach.
Yeah, I love that. You don't like that?
Not in 110.
It's just
I just went from the beach to Florida. That's a different kind of beach.
Just moist all day.
All day. I feel like you have to shower as soon as you step outside.
Oh yeah, brutal.
Water conservation. How big of a deal is that?
I mean, the government says it's massive. It's like I mean, you could look around. It depends where you're at. If you have like secondary water or however, they're potable water too. But like, living in enterprise, like, and even here, a lot of like the farmers, they would use like their secondary water. And so like the reservoirs, what they do have are just like, they're just shrinking crazy fast, because so many people are just watering so much, mainly in St. George. Here in St. George, I mean, we all like grass, and
Got to keep the desert green.
yeah, and I'll probably have some grass at some point. But like, you know, but it's like water conserving water isn't like you're in a desert. You know what I mean? Like you probably should xeriscape your lawn and have rocks and cactus and stuff like that's where we live. You know, but what's it called? It's just a big part of it is like how strong are our winters? Our winters have been getting light. Like I remember when I first moved out here or when I would visit, like the winters in Enterprise, like it snowed there a lot. Like my grandparents always get stuck, you know, because like they couldn't get out of their driveway. It was just so much snow. But I don't really remember a winter in a long time where it's been that heavy, at least down in Enterprise. Like the mountains are getting hammered. Like all of our reservoirs here in all of Utah, pretty much for the most part, are all at 100% capacity. Like Provo, like the Provo River is just like overflowing, you know, what is it? Echo Reservoir? Is it Echo? They're at like 109% capacity. So they're just dumping out,
That's
you
what
know,
I'm talking about.
Yeah. And then you can see even here, San Hollow, I was just there this weekend and that thing's up almost to the road. There's how much water there is. So, but it's like, you want to try to conserve it, I guess, you know, I'm not the government. So
Well,
you know,
crazy.
it's like,
I think California has, I think, some of the most restrictive policies when it comes to water conservation. I remember living there, kind of like we were just talking about, and you couldn't water your lawns during a certain time. Like, you got to wait for a certain time. It wasn't as bad as like you can't shower or use water during the day. You okay?
You got me sick. You got me dead over here.
Sorry. You'll be fine.
But
anyways, what I was getting to with the California thing, there was a point to this. They have a water pipe that's like that just shoots water into the ocean. So it's like fresh water, and it's just shooting into the ocean.
From where?
It's up Northern California, I think near Sacramento. No, San Francisco.
No. You know what's crazy is obviously like our families all live out there, but like I remember when my parents like they had really nice green grass or whatever, and then like they got put down to you can only water like twice a week or whatever, and then like all their grass died. So it was a good business venture for some people because they started painting freaking grass.
They do that here too.
Yeah, hey, we'll paint your grass. Like you know,
it's crazy.
But my parents ended up like doing like stones and rock, you know, and then like it all got lifted like 2 years later or whatever, and so they went back to having grass again because it's like down there it's not that hot, so it's like grass should be able to grow. But I mean, the water's being used in so many places, so I mean, like to conserve water, like. The government has put in like we have flow restrictors in our shower heads, like in everything that we use to keep that water down. Like our toilets like use less gallons like to flush, you know, the tank. Like there's so much trying to like conserve water where you don't need it. You know, like you have urinals now that don't have no water feeding into it. Oh, yeah. It's just all gravity fed, you know, just to like
they smell great too.
No, yeah, brutal, but. It's like you do want to. I mean, you want to conserve it to the like best of your ability. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up that way too, where my mom's like, "Oh, don't leave the sink running while you're brushing your teeth." You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, do your part. So it's like our reservoirs and stuff stay full. Like, who doesn't want a full reservoir to go boating on the lake? You know? So I mean, you look at Lake Powell. Lake Powell is from what it was to like what it is now. Like, I mean, it's going back up. Thankfully, you can see the pictures, but they were starting to find like cars, bodies like boats, like that. I was like, oh, maybe leave it full. All my crimes are gonna show up. Oh man, but no, I mean, I'm big on like at least like just doing your part, even if it's like the little things here and there. You know what I mean? Like,
did you hear about that reservoir in Colorado? It was a TikToker. He was out wandering around. And the reservoir was so low, and he ended up finding like 7 or 8 pairs of women's shoes.
No,
it's like
what do you watch?
It's a wild side. But it's turned into like a whole investigation now. That was, I guess, from the 90s or something.
Dang, there's those YouTubers that like scuba dive and like pull cars and
that's crazy.
Adventure or something. I don't know, but that stuff's like trips me out. They're finding like cases of people gone missing like 80 years ago, 90 years ago, and I'm like, dude, that's insane. Like I was just watching one, and they like pulled this car out, and they're like, there she is, and you're like, you kind of like
the
gut
family's all there too. Yeah,
everyone's crying, but it's just skeleton. You're like she's still buckled into her car, and you're like, what the hell? Like Yeah, I couldn't do that job.
Man,
But
I know. Like, I think the only reason I'd want to go diving is for like golf balls.
yeah, something fun, you know? Like, but that dude, like, I guess, like, there's people, obviously, like, it's closure for everyone, you know? But I'm like, that's a crazy job. Like, because they do the evidence part. Like, they go based off of, like, the old things that have shown up, like the latest evidence, and then they'll go do their own. And then they'll go scuba dive and just search it all. And
They'll call the cops in after. Like, I think once they figure it out, they'll call the cops in so it's all clean.
yeah, it's insane.
No, it's crazy. So with some of these smart things that people like, everybody's into smart features right now, like phone, like having everything controlled from your phone. Is it, if you do that to conserve water, are you really seeing a difference on your bill?
A little bit, but like your water bill is, unless you have a massive home, I don't feel like your water bill is like that
Gonna
crazy.
change that much, right?
But I mean, you'll see a little bit, you know what I mean? Every time, like, if you take a 30-minute shower, now you're taking 10-minute showers. Like, you know what I mean? You're going to see a little bit of cost savings because you're not using as much water. Like, there's just little things you can do to save money, but it's not like, I mean, everyone's bill is different, and depending on where you're at, water billing is a little bit different. But, I mean, you will, over a lifespan, you're going to see cost savings. But like I said, if you're constantly taking 30-minute hour showers and then you're like, well, I want to lower that bill. Now you're taking the 5-10 minute showers. Like, you will eventually see it.
It's just not going to be immediate.
I mean, it will be that on that next bill cycle. You know what I mean? But it's not like you're going to strike it rich tomorrow. Like, oh, hell yeah. I started taking 5-minute shower. I got hundreds of dollars in my pocket.
Vegas.
Like, but I mean, it eventually all that stuff adds up, right? Like, every little bit you can save starts to add up.
Yeah.
And so, like, conserving water really just stems down on to like what you believe in. Like, you know what I mean? People believe in climate change, some people don't. So it all depends, like, what you want to do. Do you think our water is going to run out, or do you think it's just like it's always here?
It's abundant. I think everything on Earth's abundant. Might get low, but it'll get filled back up. It's like oil, fossil fuels.
Yeah.
There's the idea of fossil fuels the term was created to give us the perception that oil runs out, but it in fact doesn't, just regenerates.
I heard gold doesn't run out. I heard the same thing
Gold,
for that.
diamonds, all of it.
I want gold.
Yeah, I know. You're on a whole gold.
Let's
kick
go.
right
Let's
now.
go run a gold mine.
Is there any place in a home you think that it could use smart tech that's not there now?
Yes, like HVAC having like smart tech. Because I did a little bit of like Linux training, and they have all their smart technology, which again is like all over your phone. So I mean, you could be in Florida and you realize, damn it, like I left my dang like AC running at 68. You know, you could turn it up right on your like right on the phone. Like set it to set it to 80 degrees, so you're not just wasting that energy to cool a house that no one's in. You know, so I think HVAC's a really big one to have. Like they have like pretty much they just give you an iPad. Like it's like practically an iPad screen, and you could do it from your phone. You could do it from just right there. Like if you're sitting on the couch. But I think a lot of that helps because like here, when your AC runs all summer long, like, and you're not home, I think that's a big thing to have. I think all the leak detection equipment is a massive positive because it does save you. Like if things start leaking, it'll just shut the water off, and then it goes from having 3 inches of standing water to having a few drops of water wherever it was, you know, a section to clear out your plumbing system, and then you have just what's sitting on the floor. So I think smart technology is a good thing to have if you're someone that travels a lot or your house is empty for majority of the day.
I wonder if insurance will ever start requiring it. Like, cause think about it, insurance doesn't ever want to pay out on a claim. So I'm surprised they don't.
Well, don't listen to this insurance agency, like, because it makes sense. You know what I mean? They're starting to do it with like poly pipe here. It's like, well, what are you doing to protect your investment?
That's
you know
what I'm
I mean?
saying. Yeah.
So it's like insurance companies are now starting to like not take care of the poly damage. Well, the damage was done by poly that you knew you had and you didn't take care of it. So now we're not going to take care of the damage and the mitigation portion. Like that's on you. So I think they should. Didn't Progressive used to give like something you plugged into your car? Like,
oh yeah, to track you.
Yeah, so it should be the same concept.
I have one of those. I have Progressive. I have one of those.
See, so
it follows me.
Yeah, it sees when you're burning a red light. But it's like,
Put it right on your phone now, because now they're checking to see if you pick up your phone.
oh, yeah, that's
So
smart.
I just put it on the work phone.
Yep, it's good. But it's I mean, you should, like I say, I'm surprised insurance companies aren't doing that now with the plumbing, with the home insurance. Like, hey, well, you need to take, a smart leak detection, get it installed so we could protect, like, if it does cause damage and these fails, well, you did everything you could to protect it and it still failed. So here, like, we'll take care of it now. So I mean, I think pretty soon, because insurance companies are getting like pretty strict on the plumbing aspect of things, but they don't even take care of plumbing. They just take care of the damages done by it. So
Right. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's where their money is, ripping on the drywall, the carpet, the tile.
Yeah.
All of it. I was just saying, there is a company that they do smart sensors where you could put a smart sensor in your, like near your AC unit, just see if your condenser's leaking or see if your condensate's leaking. And then they have cool ones too, where you could put it up next to the air vents, and it will tell you if you're getting efficient flow, right? And then it will tell you if it's cooling properly. So I think things like that are neat. I mean, it's more control than anything. I don't know if it really. The cool part about it is the company that installs it gets the feedback, right? So customer, so the customer can do something about it, but the company can be like, "Hey, you have an issue going on. We should come and take a look at it because you're losing X amount of dollars or losing X amount of whatever."
Yeah, that's like, I think Linux is that way, where it's like once you install a Linux system, the system's a smart system, so it'll almost troubleshoot itself, and it'll send, as long as you kept it as a company, it'll send you the same thing. Like, hey, this street address AC unit is having issues with the capacitor, having issues with the blower motor, and it'll troubleshoot it for you and just send you the diagnostic of it or whatever.
That's crazy. So it's really taking like the HVAC guy's job out of it. They're just part replacers.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, you're just replacing parts. You know what I mean? But there's still so many old units out there, and Linux is expensive, so not everyone's going to get it. But it is a smart system to have, like it just helps cut that time down. So it's like, well, if it says that's the issue, then at least they have an idea. Because there's water heaters that will say, hey, like, you got, your burner assembly, like, the burner's not working, but actually it's like thermocouple, like there's just like, and it fails, like on some of these water heaters, it fails to tell you the proper thing that's the issue. Because
so the code's wrong.
Yeah, like I've gone out and like changed that part and it doesn't work. So it's like, now it's a different part. I go out, change that part, that doesn't work, and I'm like, man, what the heck? So I'll call the company. They're like, I just replaced the whole gas control valve and the burner assembly, replace it all. So I'm like, okay, so how advanced is it? I don't know. Water heaters are pretty basic, and that's on the basic ones. That's not on the high end ones. That's like the basic, just your normal Home Depot water heaters. But
I'm telling you, there's going to be a time where those Apple Vision Pros, like, you just look at it and it's going to be like, replace this and this.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. It's going to be simple. Like, they're going to make it. Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like it's a good and a bad in it. And it's because obviously it's making us lazy. Like, where it's like, for your AC, you could be like, I'm pretty sure it's Linux that does it. Hey, Alexa, like, turn down my AC by 2, like, or set my AC to 68 while you're sitting down watching TV. You know what I mean? So like, it's nice after like a long day at work, but I mean, why do you need to get up anymore? You just lay there in bed. Alexa, like, it's a good thing to have though. I think it's cool. But
does AI scare you? Like, if it's
me, it does. Heck yeah.
On ChatGPT, I always type in, "Can you please?" Because just in case one day it turns on us, I want it to remember I was nice.
Yeah, I was the one nice guy. I'm like, we were up in Salt Lake and like Alexa wasn't working. I'm like, why are you so stupid, Alexa? Sorry, I don't know how to respond. I'm like, I hate technology. Oh, but I don't know. I like it and I don't. Like, it's one of those back and forth. I'm like, I don't know.
I've survived this long, kind of thing. It would be nice, but
well, yeah,
it's crazy. It seems
you had a pager, bro. Like, for you're like coming through it. You're like, oh, I had a little pager, and now you're here. Like, you get to see all the glow ups,
That's what I think about my grandma. Like, my grandma's seen so much life from like 1901 till now. She's not that old, but
I was like, damn, that's mean.
that's gonna be us. Our kids are gonna say the same thing. Like, you guys have seen so much life. Like DMX is vintage music.
Yep, I know. I was just watching Joe Coy's freaking stand up, and he's talking about it. Like when you used to play music, you know, whatever it was, your dad's like, oh man, hip hop just ain't what it was back in the day, you know, like this is trash music. And he was like, no, like this is gonna be evolutionary, like this is gonna be the big wave. And he's like, and I was right. Biggie Smalls, like that's the guy, you know. He's like, but now I'm like, I get it. I'm old. My son plays like the mumble rap stuff, and he's like, oh, this is stupid music. Yeah. Like, turn this stuff off, you know. But yeah.
I just saw a side note. I just saw Method Man just did a performance out in New York, and it was with the younger generation, and they all stood there.
They're like, who is this guy?
What are they even doing?
Yeah, it's like Eminem just came out with that new song, you know? And
oh, yeah. You see all the people respond to it?
Sorry, I know this is like a trade podcast, but, you know, like, it's just crazy, dude.
Hey, we all listen to it, right?
Like, everyone's like, cancel Eminem, like, because it's
his old stuff. It's back to...
Well, it's even nicer than his old stuff. I'm like, dude, go listen to his OG stuff. Like, that stuff's brutal. And I'm like, I love it. Yeah. But now it's like everyone's so soft, and it's like, oh, gotta walk on eggshells. Like, he makes a couple of comments in there. Anyways, it's pretty funny. I like it.
Yeah, life's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where the trades end up. Especially, another side note, but like the tradespeople, there's not enough tradespeople to fill the positions that are needed.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing from like the research I've done recently, there's more people leaving college or graduating college with like doctorate degrees and like business degrees and things like that, and they're going into the trades. I mean, there's a ton of success stories where they've gone to college for one career, started in that career, and left because they were able to make more money as a plumber or HVAC tech or electrician.
Hell
framer.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that.
We're at the start of the wave.
That dude, it's everyone I meet, we talked about it last time or whatever, like get into a trade. Like the money's there. It's always going to be there.
It's economy proof.
Yeah.
In essence, I mean, not everyone will survive, but
yeah,
as long as there's people, you'll have a job.
But it's getting with the program too. I mean, you talk about smart technology. It's a lot to learn, right? As a plumber, like if we're installing this stuff, like you got it, like tankless is now you're troubleshooting electrical, you know, and it's like, well, damn it. Like I signed up to be a plumber, but it's like, you got to catch up with the times, you know? So it's like, there's a lot. Even if you've done all your years, like we got Michael, you know, that has to, like, he's old school. So, you know, he has
to adapt.
He's had to adapt to all the changes over the year. I mean, 40 plus years of plumbing, like that's, you know, he used to run bamboo sticks for drainage, but
still
like,
does.
Yeah, like it's so much has changed in the last 40 years that it's like, you just got to keep up with it. And it's like mechanics, right? Like my grandfather hates working on new vehicles because there's too much computers in it. But he could tear apart an old vehicle, break it all down, put it into, you know, on the ground and put it all back together. But it's just so much technology now that you have to keep up with, so you stay at the peak of it all. So I think it's like dope.
Computer, I don't want to say nerds because I'm a nerd, but like computer techs essentially, like especially with the tankless systems.
Yeah.
I look at one of those and my brain's like, no.
Yeah, once you like take it off, you're like, damn.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
It's like a jet engine in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's I think smart technology is gonna take over. It's gonna be a good thing though. We're getting more and more of it, but it's just gonna keep it efficient. And then when the government wants to shut your AC off, they can shut your AC off. So that'll be good.
It's
not for you, but for them.
For them, yeah.
Because they're already doing that. You've seen that, right? Where like I think it was it Texas or something, where like they were concerned of the power grid. Right, so heat wave was coming in and all this stuff, and they like everyone that had smart systems did get set to like,
they got shut down.
They got set to like 85, not shut down. They just got set higher, so it wasn't overworking the power system. Which
it's crazy. It's 2024.
Hey man, I'm just a plumber. I don't know. They just shutting the people down. That's why that's my worry with it. You know what I mean? We're not conspiracy theorists, a little bit, but like
a little bit going into that. Like, so I think privacy is a big thing that it comes into play. Well, like how could they invade my privacy through my water system? But you know what I just saw? The I think one of those 3-letter
This
agencies.
guy takes a lot of dumps.
Yeah.
Like, why is he always on the toilet? Like, shut him down. No more poop for you. Like, dude, this is brutal. Like, where does it go?
But they can
hate it here.
They can record you through your Wi-Fi, so they're able to bounce signals off your walls and map out people in a room, and they can watch you just from your Wi-Fi.
Damn. So they know.
They
know what I'm doing at night. Hey.
You don't need cameras anymore.
Alexa's like, that's all. Oh man, I hate the government.
I love it. So I think that really wraps up our
smart technology. I don't know.
Dumb technology.
There's not a lot of it that goes out, at least here, because there's not a lot of smart homes in St. George. Like you're not seeing a lot of that here because it costs a lot of money and it's a retirement community. So like for me, it's like we do some people, but it's just like not everyone wants to do it. So
well, it's an extra expense too.
Yeah, but you go to Vegas, there's a lot of smart homes in Vegas, you know. But
is it just a fad though? Like, because in California, it's more of a fad than anything. Like, look what I can do with my phone.
Yeah, it's keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah,
you know, like Mr. Jones got a tankless over there. I want one. So it's like that. Everyone just does that. It's a gameplay. Like over here, people don't care. I'm like, hey, we just did your neighbors and da da da. They're like, well, I hate Terry, so whatever. Like
I don't even have a neighbor named Terry.
Yeah, Terry's an idiot, so I don't want a tankless. Like, that's just no one really. There's a few people that keep up with the Joneses here, but it's very like no one cares. So you don't see a lot because it's older, right? It's an older community, so they're like, dude, I don't even know how to send an email that good. Like, let alone freaking adjust my AC over an iPad. Like. People, I make them sign, on our phones for house call. Hey, we just sign here? And they're like, with their nail, and it's not signing. They're like, it's not working. And I'm like, it's with your skin fingertip. I'm doing my fingertip. But I'm just like, it's so hard because you got to navigate, like, to keep them happy. Like, calm down. Here, can I just sign for you?
Calm down.
Yeah, we have an aneurysm out there, It's bad. Anyways,
that's great.
Yeah, smart technology is coming at you.
Awesome. Well, you guys can check us out on our podcast on YouTube, Spotify. You can find us on social at Dino Service Pros or online at www.dinoservicepros.com, or you can give us a call 435-236-4568.
Booyah.